Hey guys, welcome back.
Hey, it's your girl JQ here.
It's Dali con Pique.
What's up?
Welcome back to another episode of Are We Adulting Yet?
Today, it's an interesting topic.
Yes.
And our episode today is about marriage.
Yes.
And being ready for it. Are we ready yet?
Yeah. Are we ready for marriage yet?
Are you ready for marriage? If you're not already married.
Right. And even if you are married, were you ready for marriage?
How do you feel about it now?
Right.
How long have you been married?
These are questions we all need to know.
Yes. Very, very good questions.
Yeah, pretty much. Is there anything you want to start off with before we get into it?
No, not really. This is our second season. Woo woo. Just excited to be continuing to make more stuff.
Yeah.
And thank you for listening.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
2020 has been like pretty good so far to us.
Yes.
So
we're hoping big things for the Away podcast.
Yeah. 2020 is the year.
For us, yes.
It's really exciting.
We're trying to make some things happen, So just thank you for all the people who support us and who have listened this far.
Yeah.
We love ya.
Yeah.
But we can get right into the episode.
Yeah. If you don't know, neither of us are married.
Neither of us are married. No.
Yeah. So, of course, our opinions are going to be different from probably a married person's opinion.
Yes.
So, just keep that into consideration. We are very highly opinionated, but we also know that our opinions might differ.
Yes.
So, disclaimer, I guess. But yeah, so do you want to start with, are you ready for marriage?
I was going to ask you the same thing, girl.
I know I'm not. It's a solid no. I see it.
Yeah, it's a solid no for me too right now. And it sounds bad. And if I could go into the sticky situation real quick.
Yeah.
With my baby daddy, there was like, he wanted to marry me. He wanted to, be a family and everything. And I was all for being a family and everything, but it was too, you have to think about everything. When you go into being married, of course, people go into they try to be, what am I trying to say? I can't even talk. They go to want to be married out of love. They get married because they love each other. But they don't know that when you get married, you got to sign that piece of paper and you guys are one. So if he has that, if she has that, if you have issues, they become yours. And I mean, if you're willing to do that, you do that. But in that case, I wasn't. Because right now we weren't financially at the places that we wanted to be. We're not financially, like, our credit's not the way we want it to be. And I didn't want to make it harder for us.
Right, like
on top of everything,
problems joining into one and becoming one even bigger problem kind of thing.
Well, the thing is, you can get help for certain things, and I don't want to say I'm taking advantage of the system in this way, but like if we're married, you're getting no help from nobody,
right,
for anything, because your income is too high, and it might not be enough, and that's the thing. Like it's BS.
Yeah,
I feel like you should have your stuff together before you get married, financially. Savings, everything wise, you know what I'm saying? Everything needs to be pretty damn good on both parts.
Right. Not
just, I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, he has good credit. He goes to school. He does this and this and that. I'm marrying him. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not on the same level.
Right.
So like, I feel like that's something that people should already have before they're married. Like it's different to work through things with people, but if you have a lot of stuff that you're carrying with you, a lot of baggage, a lot of debt and things like that, it can make a marriage complicated and very stressful. Like, that's how I see it. So, like, I feel like we were married in our own way because we lived together. We did things. We were damn near, like, playing house. That's what someone had told me before.
Right.
We were playing house, like, I was doing what I was supposed to do. I was acting like a wife. I was doing things of a wife, but I wasn't actually a wife. Like, I had no ring. I had no paper.
Right.
But I feel like that's a lot of couples nowadays. They're playing house.
Playing house before.
Right.
Before the paper.
Right. Playing husband or wife and not being husband-wife. So, I don't know. I just think that it's different for everyone. Because for some people it does work. They can get married ASAP and make it work. And
it's
and work through these trials. But I'm just not willing to deal with some of that. I don't want... My baggage is enough as it is. I don't want someone else's baggage. And it sounds bad, but I mean, I'm just being truthful. It doesn't matter if I love you or not. If you got baggage, I ain't trying to carry your baggage along with mine. That's too much. Mm-hmm. It sounds bad. It sounds bogus, but, you know, it's just being realistic. I've talked to other people who have been married, and they're like, you know what? No one else looks at marriage. A lot of people don't look at marriage that way, and they should, because that's what you're getting into.
Right.
These financially sticky situations. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I don't know. I guess in some ways...
For me, sometimes it's like, damn, I worked hard for all my shit.
Just to be married to someone, and then it's all theirs,
and then if we get divorced, half of it is theirs?
Right.
What?
Yeah.
No.
It's kind of bogus.
Or like, what's mine is yours, I get it, but like, bitch, I worked hard for mine. It sounds selfish. It does sound selfish, and I get that. I think I'm not ready for marriage because I am trying to build myself up. Mm-hmm. I am trying to be the best me that I can be. And right now, in my head, that mentality is me thinking I'm getting married to myself right now.
Right.
You know? I need to marry myself and fall in love with myself and work with myself before I can marry somebody else.
That's 100% true. You have to be an adult first.
Right.
You're by yourself.
I have to grow up first. Like, I just can't, I don't want to, not that I can't, anyone can get married, like, if they want to, but for me personally, I want to
have that on your own.
Right. I want to do me. I want to, I mean, and I'm in a relationship. I'm in a happy relationship. It's not that. It's not, you know, I just like the feeling of me growing with myself first. And then, you know, when I have that idea of like how I want to be as a person, then I can grow with my significant other. I can take the next level with my significant other. But I feel like it's a little irresponsible for me when I'm not in the place where I want to be to bring someone into it with me. Or to just like jump sense, into
girl.
that.
You want to be secure within yourself before you sit there and try to secure yourself with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Or find security within them. You find it within yourself. You do all that for yourself, and that's how it should be. I'm thinking that's how it should be. Like, you should have your own shit in your own life together, aside from being together. And when you get married, it should be a union where it's like, okay, right, and we have all this to bring to the table,
and you guys are both on the same page of like, yeah, I know that this is what we need to do. I get, you know, like,
right.
I don't know. I feel like it would be irresponsible for me to say I want to unify with you when I don't even know how to be unified with myself 100% yet.
Right.
Like, I think that's irresponsible on my part. And I think it's kind of, I know myself, so I think it's a recipe for disaster. Mm-hmm. You know? That's
how I feel right now, too. There's just a lot of things, and it's not even just on, like, my baby daddy, because he has debt, too. I have debt, but I feel like it's bigger than that, too. You know, like, it's a very serious commitment. Like,
it is.
Like, people don't take it that way. You know, you have these people getting fake married and real married, and it doesn't last. 6 months it lasts, or 2 months. You hear of all these stars that get married super quick, and it just doesn't last.
Or just people that, you know, I've seen people that I would have thought they were so in love. And like, the love seemed real, and it probably was at the time. But, you know, a few years down the line, love isn't gonna be the thing that holds a marriage together all the time.
And it's crazy because finances are such a big thing, and they don't talk about that. Finances can stress out your marriage and break up your marriage. It can break up a relationship.
I think it said like, what was the most common reason for marriage? Oh, the number one reason for divorce. And it said the divorce rate in America has hovered around 50%. And in fact, 50% of marriages end in divorce. That's what it said. And then it says, in fact, some studies suggest that money problems in a marriage are the number one cause of divorce.
Yes.
The financial and emotional toll of a divorce.
Yeah. Because a lot...
Well, no, that doesn't make sense. But it says that money is the number one. And, like, that's so true. Like, when you don't know how each other work, especially financially... Y'all are going to end up in a lot of arguments.
And that's why I was saying, too, you need to be financially stable on your own as each person individually before you go into a relationship.
Like go ahead and move into a place on your own. Go ahead and, like...
do the little
things. Be that
adult you need to be.
Right.
Be that adult, be responsible.
Be the adult on your own, and then bring somebody... But, like... And it's... For me, it's just so much more rewarding that way.
Yeah. to think that you did it by yourself, and then this is what I have to bring to the table.
Right.
This is what I have to offer, and then, you know, it's better
right.
when they have just as an equally amount of things, you know, to bring to the table too. You know, like
like two getting some more adults coming together and being like, we can handle this.
Independent
we're gonna come
adults
together and adult this shit because now we know how to adult.
Right.
So we're gonna tackle it together. Let's
but
get
like
married.
We were saying though, like adulting is different for everybody.
Yeah.
So it's not the same. Everyone has their own pace.
Yeah.
But what we're saying, I think, in our opinion, is that you should be independently stable and where you want to be. Mm-hmm. Whether it's savings or paying for your own place or whatever the case is, before you try to combine that with somebody else too.
Yeah.
Because it's not fair. It's not about like who has more, who has less. It's just not fair when someone's bringing more to the table than you are.
And I think it said somewhere like the number one age, like the most common age for a divorce is around 30. I said, and then some other ages were like 26, this and that. I'm 28 and I'm not even married yet. And I think your 20s, for me personally, my 20s have been a period of figuring myself out.
Self-discovery.
And I think that's why the divorce is so high. Because, like, people getting married, they're figuring themselves out.
Yeah.
Everyone's figuring themselves out. By the time they're 30, they're like, I don't want to be with you.
Right.
You know, like, to have the number one age for divorce, like the top age for divorce be 30. Mm-hmm. Y'all are getting married. People are getting married young.
Yeah.
And to me, in my opinion, like, you know, I didn't know who I was at 22.
Right.
I'm 28 and I'm a completely different woman.
Well, I read something, and I'm not exactly sure. I don't remember where it's from. But it was saying that the divorce rate and marriage rate has gone down a little bit. And that people are waiting to get married. Mm-hmm. More so waiting to get married now, and the marriages are lasting longer because of it. So they're waiting, which is the smart thing to do. Right. Hello, like common sense.
And dude, back then you got pregnant, you're getting married.
But you know,
figure this shit out.
I feel like maybe not in the United States, but in other countries and stuff, people are getting pregnant and married at 13.
But you know what's crazy? Like those arranged marriages in other cultures. Mm-hmm. I've heard that those like last.
Well, they probably have to. I'm sure there's no way to get out of them. Like, I know that in some, like, I've heard crazy things, girl. Like, I've heard that the husbands will beat their wives if they look at a man or, you know, just crazy stuff because the man has the say-so in the household.
Y'all need to go see a therapist.
I read an article about a girl who was living over here in the United States, and they sent her back to her old country to have an arranged marriage. And she was about 17 or something like that, 16, 17. And she found a way to escape over there and take refuge over here. Got adoptive parents because she didn't want to. Like, she saw her sisters. She had a couple sisters and they were married, arranged marriage. But she was supposed to get married to like a 40-something-year-old and have kids by this random-ass man. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, what? I guess we're really lucky to be able to have a choice over here because
we marry for love. Like back in the day, like if you had money, here, they would like sell the daughter.
Girl, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like something like that, or like
marry into money, things like that.
Shit, we got it good. At least we have a choice.
Hey, but I was saying, but people over here, they get married out of stupidity and sometimes. Because remember we were saying love isn't everything. But some people get married just out of a whim. Let's go to Vegas. Let's get married. Fuck it. You know, and it's like, it's probably not the right choice, you know. And they get their stuff annulled, like, super quick. Yeah. How long is it that you can get, like, a month or two you can get your...
Something like that. It's a very short time.
But I just think that's funny because... I don't know.
Marriage, for a long time, I didn't really believe in marriage. I didn't want to be married. I didn't want to have a wedding. For a long time, I think, like, in my early 20s, I'm like, what's the point? What's the point? Like, for it to end up in divorce and for it to be, like...
Well, we both had families that got divorced. Like, or both our moms and dads got divorced. Right. So,
and
like,
I think
we saw that firsthand.
With my family, I think I was telling you this. I can't remember. But with my family, it went from, like, when I was... younger, it seemed like I had the perfect family. Yeah. Like, everything was so great. Mm-hmm. And then, in an instant, one thing happened and it trickled all these other things. Right. And, like, it made me... Like, I grew up thinking...
It exposed a lot to you.
Yeah, I grew up thinking very quickly, like, anything can change.
Yeah.
Like, nothing's ever going to stay constant. We are always changing. And that sometimes you have to be ready for that ride. Like how my mom was saying earlier, like, marriage is a risk.
Yeah.
You're taking a risk. Just
and
like
then
with
especially
anything.
when you have kids, it's important that you're really ready for it, because at the end of the day, it affects them too. I feel like my mom's divorce, because my mom and dad got separated when I was like 8, girl. And then they got divorced when I was like 12, 13. Mm-hmm. So, like, I saw that early on, but it kind of showed me how things worked out. Because, so, like, my mom and my dad did a lot of stuff together when they were married. I saw my dad here and there, you know, but they were married, so he'd come home every day, you know. He'd come home, and that was just the way of things. That's just how they were, because he's married to her. This is my home. But once they got separated and divorced, I barely saw my dad.
Yeah.
And it was like my mom, I remember her saying, like, you know, it broke my heart because he was so good with you guys when you were young. And then once we got divorced, it was like he divorced you too.
Right, like he doesn't have to do it anymore.
Right. And we noticed that as kids too, though. Like, we noticed that he wasn't around as much. We noticed for Christmas, you know, just the little simple things. For Christmas, we weren't getting 20 gifts. We were getting 2 gifts. Because it was just my mom holding shit down, you know? So it's like, you saw the difference throughout the years. Like, okay, it gradually changed.
And it kind of, like, makes you see, like, marriage doesn't mean anything.
Right. It's just a piece of paper.
And but I get now I'm getting to the point where I do want marriage. I get it.
Right.
It would be really, really nice. I do like the idea of marriage.
Like, honestly, I think it would take me a really long time to want to be married with somebody. Because I'd have to be with them for a while, 1. And 2, you know, because you could be with someone for a while and them not believe in marriage. You guys could be together for 20 years and not care about marriage because you guys know what your relationship is. Right. And you guys know what it is. You don't need a piece of paper to prove it. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, like, but people want that affirmation that, like, oh, are you married? You know, people look at you crazy if you're not married.
Yeah, this is my husband. This is my wife.
Is that your husband? No. Oh, okay. You know, like, oh, that, like, I used to be so self-conscious when I used to introduce Jordan to people. Like, oh, yeah, this is my boyfriend. I didn't want to be like, that's my baby daddy. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because then that's just, it sounds sloppy. I don't know.
No, I feel you. Like,
you know what I'm saying? And then people are like, oh, your boyfriend, you know? And I was like, oh, yeah, we're not married, you know? Like, and people would look like, you should really be married. You know, I feel like people were just judgmental about that shit. Especially Latinos. They always want you to be married. And
shut up.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I started ignoring it, though, you know? So, like.
But that's, like, proof right there. Like, this is none of your business. My life is none of your business. If I'm married or if I'm not. You're not the one that has to be married to him. So shut up.
And it was like kind of
like a conflict. If you want marriage so bad, then you marry him. The fuck? Shut up.
For real. You're not the one dealing with people.
Right. People. You want marriage so bad in this relationship? Maybe. Bitch.
Girl, it would be
that gets me so mad. Like, just let people do what they want.
Girl, like, I know there was at one point where, like, Jordan, when I would introduce him to people, like, I didn't know what to say sometimes because it was like, we're not married, but you don't want me to call you your boyfriend, but you don't want me to tell. So, like, there was one time, I think it was Eda. I introduced him to Eda, and I go, oh, yeah, this is Jordan. This is the baby's dad. And, like, he took that and was like, oh, so, you know, he kind of got a little upset about it, and I didn't understand why. Like, I didn't know how you want me to introduce you. Like, this is my boyfriend and the baby's dad. You know, it's just, I'm just like.
Yeah.
Too much talking.
Right. Like, you know what? This is Jordan. You figure out what he is. I gotta go.
Yeah. So I was just like, I don't know. With certain people, they were just like, oh. And then when I say boyfriend, people would be like, oh, this is someone different from the baby's father. Like, you know, it was just like, no, he's the same person. Right. You know, like, I don't know. It was just always a big clusterfuck when it came to that. It was just like, oh, okay. Well, if you know him, you know him. Right. Nice to meet you.
And that's going to be always, like, people are always going to have something to say, dude.
Girl, they
even when you're married, people are going to have something to say about your marriage, I'm sure.
Yeah. That's why you have to, like, exclude what other people say. You have to be really, that's why I say it's very important to be independent as a person and very confident in yourself and your relationship beforehand because it shouldn't matter what anyone says about your relationship because you know what it is and you know
and the
what
same
you
with you and that's why you should work on yourself. It shouldn't matter what anyone says about me. The relationship I have with myself, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
You know, and that's
you're not living my life.
Right, so. And that's what I'm working on. And that would be like how I said it would be wrong. It would be irresponsible to bring someone else in it. Let's get married and let everyone's opinions and judgments get into our marriage because we're not strong enough yet mentally.
And I think there's been people who like do get married out of love and it works out and great for you because that's rare, you know, and like if it works out for you, that's awesome. But not a lot of people have that option. There's people, you know, I
love seeing the people married and super happy and like love, super in love.
I feel like, I don't know, that takes a lot. It does take a lot to stay
It does,
happy.
and
to
it's
be
inspiring.
Happy and stay happy.
It is inspiring, like to see people and like see them go through the ups and downs. And it was, you know, I feel like a lot of married people cheat too.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you know I get it. I mean, I don't know if I would ever do it. But like, I get it. You're with the same person. You go through ups and downs. You can't stand that person right now. You're going through it down.
And my thing is, though, too, some people look at it and they're like, one person for the rest of my life. Oh, my God. If you can't deal with that, why are you getting married? You know?
Right, right.
So it's like, I don't know.
And I still see or you still hear about the couples that are forgiving.
Yeah.
And they work through it. They're like, you cheated. All right. That fucking sucks. I need to be mad and I need to work through my emotions.
Girl, when you get married, sometimes, like, when I used to see, you know, the verses and stuff that it would say through till death do us part, through sickness, through health, through everything, some people take that too hard. They do.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I would feel in a situation like that, because if I'm married to you, I'm bride or die for real. Like,
yeah.
I feel like that's it. But if you feel like, that would make me feel some way. Like, I'm not enough. Yeah, that would knock my confidence. That would, like... But that's why it's good to find a partner that you know you're confident in, and he knows you're confident in your relationship. Right. All of that. Because you're not dealing with these issues.
But you never know, though, because, like you said, it's taking a risk. Right. You can find a partner that you think you're not going to be dealing with the issues now. Right. But 10 years down the line...
Who knows?
It's a different story, and things have changed, different circumstances, you know? And you are going to be faced with that.
Right.
You never know. Like, you can't say I chose the right one. Like, nothing bad is ever going to happen.
Yeah.
Because that's just kind of being, like, kind of ignorant to reality, I feel like.
That's true.
Because people are constantly changing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, situations are always, you know.
Yeah.
It's true when they say when you say marriage is a risk.
It is, 100%. Because you don't know what
the person I'm marrying, it's kind of like till death do us part, but the person I'm marrying now, I don't know if that's going to be the same person in 20 years.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure.
And if you're hoping if they do change, it's for the better.
Right.
And you grow together.
Right.
You know?
And I'm sure, you know, like, for instance, I'm sure my mom didn't, you know, when she married my dad, I'm sure she didn't think. Right. She said till death do us part, and I'm sure she didn't think that everything else was going to happen.
Right.
You know, like,
yeah,
you just never know.
It's a big guessing game because life throws those curveballs at you and you never know.
Right. It's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah,
on a side note, though, I mean, we've been talking about this pretty much, but the task of the week would be to take a step back and realize what really goes into a marriage.
Yeah.
It's not just a unity of love. It's a unity of finances, a unity of what else? Finances.
A unity of trust, a unity of communication, a unity of transparency, because
of humility. There's a lot of stuff that
there's a lot when you sign that paper. There's a lot going into it. And if you haven't gotten married yet, like if you're in our situation, really think about that.
Yeah.
If you're in a relationship and you're thinking about marriage with somebody, really think about that. Like, do I see the unity? Do I see all this with you?
Right.
Are we working toward that? If I don't see it right now, are we at least taking the steps into getting to working on that?
Or
you know,
where we need to be.
Right. And if you are married, see if that's been working. Like, you know, you guys been doing that and thriving in it, and you know, maybe talk to your spouse. And
one thing that we talked about too for our Adulting 101 for married and single people is that in a marriage, it's a unity. Of course, you know, it's two people becoming one. But to make sure, regardless if you're married or you're single, to make sure that you still have some of your independence in the process.
Yes.
You cannot lose your independence in who you are and what you do on, you know, aside from the marriage and aside from them.
Yeah.
You can't lose that, because then you lose yourself within the whole process.
And that's with like, marriage aside, you're always going to be married to yourself. You're always going to be with yourself till the day you die.
And if I feel like if you're concentrating so much on your partner when do you have time to concentrate on yourself?
Right.
Especially when you have kids, there's going to be no time to think about yourself. So I think it's important to...
And I want to applaud you because I feel like right now you're doing so much of that.
What do you mean?
You have the baby, but you're making it a point to do the self-love and to focus more on you.
You know what? And it's a process though, because, and I appreciate that. Because sometimes I feel like it's not. It's just, sometimes I feel like it never happens. It's just so hard sometimes.
You're kind of defeated.
Yeah, but like, I know that I have to make time for myself. I know I have to be a better person for myself to be better for my son. Right. So like, that's what motivates me to do that. Mm-hmm. So I know there has to be a balance. There always has to be a balance, you know? So, like yesterday we were talking to someone about it and they were talking to me, they were saying like, that's true because a lot of moms forget about themselves in the process of taking care of their kids. And your kids are number one. My son is number one for me all the time. He's going to wear the best outfits before me any day, you know, but my thing is, and he's going to have the best of the best and whatever he needs before me too, because his needs are before mine. But when do my needs come in play? And when do I make time for myself? Right. And to make sure that he has the best, especially like mentally and you know, you have to make sure you have the best. Right. Like, you have to make sure you are first in that aspect because when you're good, everything around you is good. Right. You're going to give off that good energy. You're going to give off those good vibes and all that. And you're going to give off that good feeling. Yeah. When you're good, everything is good. And I always feel like, and don't get me wrong, because it isn't like, okay, you're at that point and that's it and that's what's up. This is an everyday thing that's something I have to work on. It's something I have to motivate myself to do. Something, you know what I'm saying? It's a daily reminder. I have to be disciplined to get my stuff done, to get shit done. Whether it's working out, cleaning the house, taking him to school.
And to be an adult.
Right. Yeah. And being an adult.
You have to be motivated to do it.
So, like, make those goals for yourself. That's what makes me thrive and keeps me pushing, man. I have those goals and I really want to attain them. So, like, I've been holding on to that, man.
That's awesome.
Thanks.
It's good, dude. Keep it up. Keep it up. I'm so proud of you.
Thanks, BFF.
But yeah, we want to hear. Is there anything else I want to say about marriage? I said that really loud, a lot high. Marriage. I'm going to a few weddings soon, so that's cool.
Yeah, it's cool to experience weddings. I haven't been to one in a while. It's been a while, girl. I've not been to a wedding. It's kind of nice, though, to see other people.
I love weddings.
Weddings are awesome.
I love the love.
Free food, what?
Especially if you have open bar, bitch. Weddings are my jam.
She's thinking about drinks. I'm thinking about... She's thinking about the beer. I'm thinking about the damn food. Free food. Oh, my God. No, they are, though. They can be fun.
There's some good music, some good people. Yeah. Oh, so much fun.
It's a free party. That's what it is. It's fun.
So fun.
Come enjoy.
And, like, I love extravagant weddings and stuff like that, but I really love, like, the low-key, like, super cute, the DIY stuff. Like, y'all put some effort into your wedding.
Back home, girl, they had a lot of them in farms type of things. So
that's the wedding. Well, I'm going to one in a barn.
Which one? Melissa's?
Melissa's. It's going to be, like, a barnyard wedding.
Cute. I can imagine with all the lights and stuff.
I'm excited. Gonna drink some wine. I know. Congratulations, Melissa and Chris.
We hope you guys are good.
I know we kind of, like... stabbed at marriage a little bit today in this episode, but I do know you two, and I have faith in you guys. I think you guys are a beautiful couple if you're listening.
Yes, and we hope that you guys are both equally yoked within the relationship, and you guys are both doing good. Yeah. And offering the same energy to each other.
And I know...
best of luck.
I know, like, my friends that are getting married, I know them as people, so I know that they're gonna put that thought and that effort into, like, am I ready for this? Right. You know, and I'm proud. Like, it's the next step of adulting, man. You guys are taking that next step, and you guys, like, they're taking the risk, and that's so inspiring.
Yeah. Would that be the next step for me? Adulting, marriage?
For me, the next step to adulting is buying a fucking house.
That's funny. So true.
I mean, I got a few steps to go. There's levels to this shit for me.
But see, then like some people will get married. It's just so complicated. But you see how our point of view is because we're not married. And you see our opinion on it because we know everyone has different opinions. But I've seen people get married and then they buy a house together. You know what I'm saying? So it's different. I guess it's all about your relationship and how you feel about it, how you want to do things. Because it is a unity and you working together. But I don't know. We just ain't ready for that shit. I'm just not.
I'm not. I mean, shout out to my boyfriend. I love him. He's great. And, like, you know, we're working toward that. But it's not, you know, I don't want to rush nothing. And there's no need to rush. There really is no need to rush.
Yeah.
If you have trust and faith in something, why are you going to try to rush the process?
Right.
You know, just have faith.
That's another thing, too, though, man. Going back into that. Like, I don't know. I feel like I'd be the type of person that'd be with somebody for 20 years and never get married.
Or maybe you'll meet the right person and, you know, you never know when you get that feeling of like, yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah. But it's always been a no for me. I'm just like, I'm not. Like you said, it's just, I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
Within myself. I don't know. Just period. But
and for me, marriage is really, really beautiful. For some people, it's a goal of theirs. It's not a goal for me, honestly. Like, marriage, and it's so weird to say because I see myself getting married. I see myself having kids. But that's never been a goal for me. For a lot of people.
That's what I want to do. I want to be
when I grow
a wife.
up, I want to be a wife.
Right.
You know, like, or like, I want to make sure I have a beautiful marriage.
And then it's crazy because for some people it was like that.
Yeah.
I want to be a mom. You know, I've heard that before from people.
And it's a beautiful thing. And when I see it happening, when I see them manifesting their dreams and like getting pregnant and shit, I'm like, oh, they really wanted that. I'm so happy for them. You know, like, but it's just never been a check thing off my list. If it happens, it happens, and I'm excited for it.
We're not knocking marriage. We're not for it right now.
Right. And it's nothing I'm like making sure I do. Yeah. Before I die.
And I know there are some people who are married and are listening. So we just wish you the best of luck.
Yeah.
And we're happy for you. As long as you're happy, you know, we're happy.
Yeah. And if we ever get married, we're recording that shit and putting it on our YouTube page eventually when we start that shit. We're going to record the whole wedding. Jackie's going to make a big speech at mine, and I'm going to make a big speech at hers.
Dolly's going to rent this big inflatable Irish pub.
Dude, stop. You could rent an inflatable Irish pub and put that shit in your backyard.
And that's going to be the reception.
Right.
Get out.
I might do it for my housewarming whenever I find this house.
That would be so fun.
Like, oh yeah, come to my housewarming party. Here's my house. But in the backyard is my new Irish pub. Check it out.
Go get a drink. There's some snacks over there.
Dude, it's so dope.
So dope.
But it's like $435 to rent.
Hey, if you got money to get married, you should have some money for that. $400.
Start a GoFundMe.
GoFundMe. I really want to be married.
I really want an Irish pub and inflatable Irish pub. Please.
Please.
Oh, God.
Oh my God. Goals.
For real.
This is what I'm talking about. We think of stupid stuff like this.
This is why my ass isn't ready. I'm not taking this shit seriously yet.
We're too funny.
But yeah. Anything else you want to bring up? No, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, please.
Yes. Share everything, please. Share, subscribe. Let other people know. Tell your mom's mom. Tell your friends, your cousins. Tell everyone, man. We are out
mamas, here. Your baby mama's mamas. But yeah.
We love you guys.
No. We love you. We'll be back with another episode soon.
Mama.
What? Mama.
Bye-bye.
This bitch tried to Mama. Trying to kiss the microphone.
Mama. Edit that out. See you guys soon.
Bye.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's your two favorite girls. My name's JQ.
Hey, it's Dolly con Pique.
What's up?
Welcome to our second 5-minute wind down.
Yes.
Why did I stutter like that? I'm kind of shocked. We're like in our second 5-minute wind down.
One of many more.
Yeah, we're really excited about this segment.
It's just something new. I think it's exciting. I think that we're heading in the right direction for things. I'm excited.
We're growing, so it's fun.
Definitely.
So, if you're new to 5 Minute Wind Down, we're only gonna I feel like we should only explain what 5 Minute Wind Down is. Like, this should be the last episode.
Yes.
Then you just need to get with the times.
Right. Because if you don't know what it is after this, then what are you doing?
No. But yeah, if you're new to 5 Minute Wind Down, this is a new segment that we brought into season 2 to pretty much just catch you guys up on what's been going on behind the scenes of the podcast, with my life, with Jackie's life, and maybe we'll just talk about current events. Just something so we can bond a little more together with you guys.
Yeah, of course, so you can know more in depth of what's happening with us.
Yeah.
To kind of explain things. So
yeah.
What's really exciting is that me and Dolly just did our first live show on the 31st.
Yeah, which was super cool.
It was definitely nerve-wracking, but it was awesome.
Yeah.
And the people who showed out for us was more than we expected. It was pretty much, it was all love. It was very much a humbling experience. I don't know how to explain it. Like, it was and
it was kind of like, I was kind of like flooded with joy.
Yes. Because everybody kept popping up and I'm like, oh.
I know, I'm like, oh my God, you guys came.
Yeah.
And even when we started, people that we didn't know genuinely like cared.
Right.
What we were talking about.
So, you might not think your stuff is making an impact or
your
making
words
a difference in someone's life, but they can be. Like,
people are listening.
Yes, and I think that showed us that. And we gained a few followers from it too, so it was pretty a win-win.
Yeah. I'm really hoping we can find more opportunities to do more stuff like that, because it definitely got us out of our comfort zone. It was definitely a learning experience. Like, now we know how to deal with a situation like that.
We know we have to come prepared.
Right.
And know what we're going to talk about and practice.
I'm not going to lie. There was a few times I forgot what we were going to say.
Oh, yeah. When everybody's staring at you like, what's going on? We're like, oh, well, I don't, I'm not sure.
We had, like, questions ready to ask. And, like, the last question, I was like, all right, you want to go to the next question? You're like, yeah, you ask it. I'm like, shit, what's the question? And we, like, gave each other a look because we couldn't remember the question.
I was like, wait a minute. Oh, okay. We're good. And that's kind of embarrassing live, but...
I know, but you live and you learn.
Yeah, and I think we played it off pretty cool. Yeah. Or we didn't. We just thought we did.
We gained a really cool follower, and he, like, super supports us, that guy.
The psychology teacher?
Yeah. He super supports us.
He approached both of us, like... And not even on a weirdo stuff. He was just like, I really appreciate that you guys are young and you're doing this. And I was a psychology professor at a school, and... how, what we were talking about. And I'm like, oh.
I know, it was super cool. And then he found my Facebook, my personal Facebook, and like...
Girl, so I ain't got Facebook.
I know, well, he liked the page, and I think that's how he found...
Well, yeah, because I told him, I'm like, do you have Instagram? No. Do you have Apple? No. Do you have Spotify? No. Oh, okay, well, we have a Facebook, which we are going to start using more, because we haven't been using it like that. But we do have also a Facebook. We're on FB too, guys. Add us, like us.
We're on Twitter too, and that shit's like just fizzling out. I'm really trying, and I cannot get in a Twitter mood.
Yeah, but you know my situation with I'm not a big social media head. I used to be, but it is.
I used to be really into Twitter, and then finally I was like, why am I tweeting just the most random shit to these people? Like, I'm just gonna stop. And I stopped and never went back.
No, I don't know. I never did Twitter. Twitter was something, and now TikTok is becoming a big thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's cool, but I'm not going to be on TikTok.
I know. I haven't used TikTok either. But we do have to get more with the times.
Yeah,
because we do. I've started to realize from that live show, I like my opinion to be heard. And I like us talking about issues and things. Like, I started to realize how much I'm loving what we're doing, I think.
Right.
And, like, how much I want.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I want the world to know.
Who we are, Away Podcast.
I know, are we adulting yet? Live show. Soon we're going to be, mark my words.
One day we'll be there.
We will be having our own live show, and that shit is going to sell out. Manifest that. And speaking of manifestation, one thing I wanted to bring up, this week I learned that you can manifest your dreams. You can manifest what you want through sex, through orgasm.
Oh, that's a
whole other episode I think we need to have.
Oh my God.
I think it's pretty cool. I think it's really weird, but I think it's really cool.
It's definitely different.
There's been like,
the way you were describing it to me, it's like insane.
I know. And
so
like,
if you haven't heard about that, look it up.
Numerous people that say that it has worked for them.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we're gonna have an episode on it, but we're hitting 5 minutes. We already hit 5 minutes. So thank you for tuning in.
And we will see you on next episode.
Bye.
Bye.